They let us know that somebody was found dead next door. Lose a child that way. And that baby is an extension of her mother and the rest of her family. So they lost a child as well. They lost two. Her family would not be burying her and their grandchild.
It sounded like something straight out of a crime show. A woman's desperate scream, piercing through the night, followed by sudden silence. But this wasn't television. This was real. This was the night Lisa Dawn, young, pregnant, full of life, was brutally murdered by the man she trusted most. A murder so cold, so disturbing, that even seasoned investigators struggled to describe it. To understand the horror of what happened, we first need to know who Lisa Dawn was. Lisa was in her early 30s, full of hope and excited about the future. Friends described her as warm and caring. She was pregnant, expecting her first child, and preparing for motherhood. By all accounts, she should have been looking forward to a new chapter of life. But behind closed doors, her relationship with her boyfriend was growing toxic. What started as love soon turned into control, jealousy, and violence. Those closest to Lisa began to notice small signs, arguments, tension, and a growing sense that something was deeply wrong. The man Lisa lived with appeared charming to outsiders, but behind that mask was a darker reality. Neighbors recalled heated arguments. Friends said Lisa sometimes seemed afraid, even though she didn't speak much about it. Domestic violence often escalates slowly. First, it's controlling behavior, then verbal abuse, then physical. For Lisa, the red flags were there, but like so many victims, she hoped things would change. Instead, the danger grew closer. On the night of her death, neighbors heard screaming. It started faint, then louder, then a chilling intensity that made one witness describe it as the sound of pure terror. Investigators later pieced together what happened. An argument escalated into brutal violence.
Well, the past few days they've been arguing, and that's nothing new.
Okay.
They fight, like they used to fight all the time, and it would be loud fighting, and we actually had to call the cops on them before, because I don't know who it was, but somebody picked something up and slammed it against the wall. We assumed it was one of them throwing each other. Last night it was different. It was like, we got home from picking me up from work. I got home from work around 9:30-ish, and their front door was cracked, which is unusual. They don't.
9:30 p.m. last night? Okay.
They don't usually leave their front door cracked, and it was, and that was a little weird. And I heard like muffled yelling, like not screaming, but yelling in a way, kind of like in pain. Like you just like snipped your finger with a scissor and you had to put some over your mouth so you wouldn't scream too loud. That's what it sounded like.
So you say it sounded like muffled screaming?
Kind of, but it wasn't too loud.
Okay.
And then later on, we heard like the apartment shakes a little bit whenever you move too much, and it started shaking. And we're like, okay, they must be fighting or something. And we were gonna wait to see if it got better, or like if it didn't, because we were just gonna go sit outside and wait it out.
Yeah.
So we didn't have to deal with it. And so whenever that was happening, the apartment was shaking, they were fighting about something, and then all of a sudden the screaming got really, really loud and really intense. And that was, I would say, probably about 9:45, 9:50. And then the apartment had like 5 or 6 loud like thuds, and they got louder and louder each time.
Okay.
And they shook the apartment as well. And that sounded more like it was coming from.
So like, what did it sound like experienced in life, to your best ability, that would have created or possibly created the sound that you heard?
Probably, I really don't know other than like chopping wood.
Okay.
Because that's what it felt like he had enough, I didn't mean to say he, but like, you know, that's what it sounded like there was enough time to do, was like, it was very constant beats too.
Okay.
So that's what made me think it sounded like that.
So do you think it sounded like an instrument hitting something, or do you think, or what? Something is making you kind of envision that through sound. You know what I mean? Like we hear
Right.
something and our brain is gonna take that information in, right? What we're hearing,
Right.
smelling, feeling, and we're gonna kind of like paint this mental picture, right?
Right.
So, what about that sound makes you think chopping wood?
It was more of how steady it was.
Okay.
Because when you chop wood, you know, you gotta lift it up, you gotta
Yep.
hold it, and then you gotta put all your weight into it, and
Yep.
all your muscle.
Yep.
And when you do it, you go,
And you kind of got a rhythm.
yeah.
Okay.
And it had like 4 or 5, 6 of those beats, and then it just stopped. The screaming stopped, the sound stopped, the shaking stopped, everything stopped. At that point, we heard somebody walk outside,
Okay.
but we weren't able to see because we just glanced down the window, and from the window that, the awning is right there, so we can't see down on the patio
Okay.
deck area. And so we couldn't see who it was, but they were out there for about 2 minutes, and then they came back in, and they came upstairs, but I was too scared to see who it was.
And then what?
We went outside to see if okay, so my best friend came over, and because I was like, hey, something's going on, I'm not feeling so right about this. And she was like, I'll come stay outside with you. So we were standing out waiting for one of them to come downstairs, because usually after they fight, one of them comes downstairs.
Okay.
Neither one of them did, but the lights upstairs in their apartment kept turning on and off.
Okay.
So we knew somebody was up there. We assumed it was Lacey,
Okay.
but we didn't see either one of them.
In an act almost too horrific to imagine, Lisa's boyfriend attacked her, killing her in their home. Then he carried out something unthinkable. He cut off her head and stuffed her body into a laundry basket before carrying it out to a dumpster nearby. Neighbors grew concerned when they saw suspicious movements that night. One security camera captured a chilling sight: the boyfriend casually walking out of the house with a white laundry basket. Inside was Lisa's body. By the next day, police began investigating. The dumpster near the home was searched, and there inside were the remains of Lisa Dawn. Investigators had uncovered the unimaginable truth.
The dumpster. So when I took it to the dumpster, there's a lot of clothes and shit in there, all strode all over, laundry basket, and there was a couple pair of shoes. There was shoes with some slipper shoes too. Slipper shoes.
Okay.
They was red. They had blood on them. They all look like female shit. For real though. Male shit too.
Female and male clothes?
Yeah.
911 with the address of
Yeah. Hi. Listen.
What's going on
My
there?
girlfriend's daughter is killed. Yeah.
What's going on there?
My girlfriend, I'm sorry, my daughter's, he chopped her head off.
Lisa's life and her unborn child's life had been brutally taken. When confronted, the boyfriend tried to downplay his actions, but the evidence was overwhelming. The CCTV, the crime scene, the forensic details, all pointed directly to him.
Has been charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder, 2 counts of intentional homicide of an unborn child.
He was arrested and charged with murder. During the trial, prosecutors described the crime in shocking detail. Jurors listened in disbelief as they heard how Lisa's body had been discarded like trash. The community demanded justice for Lisa and her unborn child. For Lisa's family, the pain never fades. a daughter, a sister, a soon-to-be mother, taken in such a brutal way. Her murder is not just a story about violence, it's a reminder of the dangers of abuse that too often go unspoken. Many victims hide their suffering, hoping things will get better, but silence can be deadly. Lisa Dawn's story is tragic, but it must not be forgotten. Her life and the life of her unborn child deserve to be remembered, not for the horror of her death, but for the hope she carried before it was stolen.